Thank you, Kiran. I cannot think of a better prelude to what we're all about to experience today than the sound of music. Kiran's going to be our accompaniment and our speaker today, so we're going to now, she's going to play the Old 100th for us, and let's sing it together. We can stand, and then we'll say the pledge. And by the way, I get picked up by the microphone. You're experienced singers of this, so I really need to hear you. So you can get on the microphone too, so everyone can hear someone besides me. All right, here we go. All people that on earth do dwell, sing to the Lord with cheerful, full voice. Serve him with fear, his praise forth tell. All come before him and rejoice. Wonderful job, 8th grade. Thank you. All right, now we'll do our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I was here with kindergartners last week. They didn't know how to do anything. You guys know it better than I do, so thank you for your support. We are a sea of pink today. I have my pink here. I'm mixing and matching my pink and my October orange for our Trick or Trunk event tonight, and glad to see so many folks participating. Little story, I went into the post office yesterday, and they were selling breast cancer awareness stamps. And they said, do you want to buy stamps? So I did. And I said, actually tomorrow we're all wearing pink and we're giving money to breast cancer awareness. And the woman working at the post office said, here you go. And she pulled out some money for me to contribute additionally to today. So it's a great issue. I have a survivor in my family. I have friends and colleagues who are survivors. And you might know someone who's a survivor or who's fighting right now. So it's great to have us all together as a community. Great to see everyone coming out of their cars and in support. Today is chapel for October 22nd, and we have some birthdays, so I'm going to read those now. Yesterday, we just missed one. 6th grade, Ayan Chaudhry had his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to Ayan. Today, we have 2 birthdays. 4th grader, Michaela Wolford. Happy birthday to Michaela. And 3rd grader, Bay Casaguran. Happy birthday to Bay. On Sunday, the 24th, 7th grader, Gabriella Frizz. Happy birthday to Gabriella. 2 birthdays on Monday. Again, 7th grader, Brady Herzog. Happy birthday, Brady. And pre-Ker, Neil Thombrey. Happy birthday to Neil. On Thursday, the 28th, our friend, Mr. Don, Mr. Chittick, back there. Happy birthday, Don. And then I'm going to look ahead another week because actually next week is Fall Fest. So we will not have our chapel next Friday. So I want to preview a couple birthdays, 3 birthdays actually. 2nd grader TJ Satiro is on the 29th. Happy birthday to TJ. On the 30th, 7th grader Jackson Balla. Happy birthday to Jackson. And on Halloween, Sunday the 31st, Olivia Carr, 4th grader. Happy birthday to Olivia. So because there'll be no chapel for Fall Fun Day, that's another special event. By the way, you guys are all, many of you are veterans. I know we have some new 8th graders too. There's hay rides, snacks, trip to a pumpkin patch, and a Halloween parade, which will be held outside at 2 o'clock. Parents are welcome to all those outdoor portions of the event. We'd love to see you here. In the week following, just as a heads up, we'll have a couple special chapels. In the first week of November, November 3rd, we're having a Diwali chapel, which is wonderful. And then on Friday the 5th, we'll have a Veterans Day chapel. So a lot of special things happening that first week in November. Some announcements. Where are my 8th grade cross-country runners? Why don't you guys just stand up? You don't need to come all the way up today. I just want to congratulate our cross-country team and our coaches, Coach Tools and Coach Messer, for an undefeated cross-country season as the crowd goes wild. Big news, awesome. I think it's the first time in a decade or so that we've had that distinction, so congratulations. Good job, guys. Also, monumental this week, the Ormsby twins have arrived. Two beautiful little babies, and they're doing well. Mom's doing well, Dad's doing well, and they appreciate all of your well wishes and support. Can't wait to get those little ones on campus. I mentioned Trick or Trunk tonight at 6 o'clock. If your parents are decorating a car, they should try to arrive at 5:30. Please arrive by 5:30. It's going to be a fun night, and it will be over at 7 o'clock, and we'll be on our way to the rest of our evening and our weekend. Tuesday, October 27th, is our first Dine Out event by the MSCA. Also, thank you to the MSCA for the Trick or Trunk event, parents group putting that together. A lot of hard work there, and the 8th grade for doing the concessions tonight. Thank you. Back to the Dine Out event is at Epicurean Garage in Chester Springs. You can see Schoolhouse News for more details. All right, we're almost to the main event. But before we get to the main event and our speaker today, I have a special dedication. I have an announcement. And that is that Mr. Hamilton has informed me and the school that he's moving on from Montgomery School. We're sad to see him go. He has been a rock for us. So many of the things that we do here in this space, around the campus, have Mr. Hamilton behind them. He, as you know from his chapel talks, is an incredibly deep thinker, caring, playful person. I enjoy talking to him about a whole range of topics, and I'm sure you do too. And he has a special place in his heart for you as 8th graders. He's been a coach and kind of co-presenter for chapel talks for many, many years. So I was going to ask the 8th grade to stand, turn around, and say thank you to Mr. Hamilton, who is here in the booth. On the count of 3, we'll say thank you to Mr. Hamilton. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Mr. Hamilton. And that's for all of us all over campus. Mr. Hamilton likes to be behind the scenes. He doesn't like to be made a fuss over. Too bad. So for the whole next week, everyone on campus, please, when you see him, remember to thank him for everything that he's done and all of the legacy that he leaves behind with all of the incredible support that he's given. Thank you, Jared. Okay, now I have an introduction to make. Transferring my media, it's on my phone. Today's chapel is presented, our first 8th grade chapel talk by Kiran Wisneski. Kiran came to Montgomery in 4th grade and instantly brightened our classrooms with her huge smile and her love of singing, which I think will be on display today. This is from her 4th grade teacher. She taught us to enjoy The Wizard of Oz. There wasn't a day that she was not kind and respectful to friends and teachers. She's known to be very diligent with her classwork and extremely positive, smiling, and giving. My first impression of Kiran was seeing her sing and saying, this person has an incredible voice. But I've learned that that voice extends to lots of different places. It's not just music. She is incredibly giving. She volunteers throughout the community. And so in addition to her international singing competitions and her performances, she gives her time to Martin Luther King Day celebrations and to an organization called the Baby Bureau, which collects things for young children who are in need of help. She also has been taking German lessons, so her voice speaks in many languages. It is my pleasure to introduce Kiran Wisneski.
Thank you, Mr. McManus, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, students, parents, faculty, and staff, and everyone here today. My name is Kiran Wisneski, and welcome to my chapel. I'm so excited to be here. Today I'll be presenting on the 5 words. You may be wondering what this means. 5 words is a concept that I made. What it means are what are 5 words that motivate you, inspire you, help you through tough times, and just keep you going. Today I'm going to be telling you about my 5 words. My first word is tenacity. My definition of tenacity is the ability to keep going even when things and obstacles are in your way. Tenacity has helped me through so much in my life, and many times in my life something's been in the way and over something what I wanted to accomplish. I've been able to use tenacity to overcome these obstacles. Some examples of tenacity in my life are last summer, the summer into 6th grade into 7th grade. I spent the entire summer doing the Larson pre-algebra book. I did this in order to advance in the upper math class. I had become really bored in the lower math and just wanted to advance and have something more challenging. I was able to accomplish this, but it wasn't without a struggle. I had to do an entire year of math condensed into 3 months while still doing other things. After completing all the math work, I sent it to Mr. Raj and Mr. Machaka for them to evaluate the work and decide if I could advance. They looked it over and decided I could advance, but there was a catch. I had to get good grades and take a specific end-of-the-month evaluation to make sure I could handle the upper math. I have to admit I was kind of upset. All right, fine, I was just upset. I had just taken the entire summer doing math, and now I could only advance on this condition. Well, the school year started, and I worked super hard to get good grades in all my classes. In math, I worked really hard to understand and get the concept, and even worked when I hadn't been asked. And in the end, I was able to achieve this by working hard and continuing to work. I was able to stay in the advanced math, no one even mentioned the monthly evaluations, and pass the course with an A in math. No matter the obstacle, have tenacity and you'll be able to accomplish whatever you set your mind to. These pictures are me doing math in the summer, from left to right, me in my dining room doing algebra. This graph is in my kitchen floor, and my mom made a graph on the floor with everyday objects so I could understand graphing. And this other picture is me doing algebra and using visualization to learn. The next word is faith. Faith can keep you grounded. Now, some of you may know me as a PK. Actually, a double PK. PK is an abbreviation for pastor's kids. Both of my parents went to seminary and are ministers. I'm a Christian and a Presbyterian. But that's not all I'm going to talk to you about. Yes, faith can be religious, and yes, I'm going to mention that. But faith is also a wider and more amazing thing. In my definition, faith is having a strong belief in something, someone, and/or a religious belief. Faith is believing even when you can't see a certain thing. Everyone's faith stumbles sometimes. I know mine does. Currently, I'm struggling a bit with my faith. I still have faith, but it's struggling. Faith isn't perfect. You'll always have doubts, but you must remember that if you have faith, you can get through tough times. Now let me give you some examples. The first one is my faith in my religion. I go to church regularly, unless I'm sick, and then I watch the live stream, and I pray daily, and I put trust in God. Of course, I have my doubts, but I'm still able to believe and put trust in God. And this kind of faith keeps me going and helps me through tough times. In my faith, a very important figure is Jesus. Jesus is God's son sent to save the world from sin. Now that's a really, really quick summary. If you need to know more, come back, talk to me later. In the Bible, Jesus is crucified, executed by the Roman government. Now I'm guessing most of you are like, Kiran, it's 8:30 in the morning. Why are we murdering people? Now, I'm getting to that. Jesus had to die on the cross in order to save our sins. This is a type of sacrificial love. And this gives me the faith that even when I sin, I'm forgiven because Jesus sacrificed himself for us. And up there is a picture of a cross and a Bible to remind me of my faith. The next example is family. I know for a fact that if I need anything, my parents or other family members would be there for me. Having faith in your family is a strong belief that you should keep building up. My parents are always there for me, always helping me and others, and always kind and caring. They raised me with specific morals and values, and this gives me faith that when I grow up, I can be caring, I can help others, and I can keep my morals. Thank you, Mom and Dad. And this may sound a bit silly, but I have faith in my dog. My dog Toto is always there for me, even when I feel upset or when I'm happy. He gets happy at little things. Toto goes on a walk, gets a belly rub, plays Chase's bubbles, and this makes him happy. And this gives me faith because I know that whenever I need Toto, he's always there wagging a tail. Thanks, Totes. And this picture is a collage I made of my family. On the left is me and my cousin when I was little, my parents and I on my 13th birthday, my mom and my dad, my aunt and my uncle and I a few years ago, and the last picture is me and Toto taken this summer. Faith's a key belief, and I believe that is one of the most important things to have. Hope. Hope. Everyone says to have hope! Yay, but what does this mean? I think that hope is believing in things will get better even in the darkest of times. Many people who don't know me that well don't know how things have been in my life. In my life, I've needed hope so many times. Let me tell you about some. Most recently, COVID-19. Now, I'm not going to explain that because most of you know what that is. COVID started early March 2020 and is continuing to go on. Schools shut down, activities, cities, and the world shut down. People by the millions were dying and getting sick, and I lost my grandmother to COVID in April. It really hurt our family. She was the only living grandparent I had, but she had dementia and didn't know who I was. When she died, we couldn't have a real funeral, and we're still waiting to have one. In 2021, people were getting vaccinated. Kids over 12 were getting vaccinated, and I have to say I've been fully vaccinated, and although I experienced rough side effects, it was worth it. Mask mandates are starting to be lifted and more, but COVID's still out there. People are still dying, and the variants are coming, and things are still shutting down. But hope helped us all, and it will continue to help us all. When everything first shut down, I was scared for me, my family, and others. It was me, my mom, my dad, and last summer, 2020 summer, August, we got my dog Toto. I was lonely and afraid, but a single 4-letter word kept me going. Hope can inspire, save, help, and heal people. Hope's the light of an end of a dark, dark tunnel. Another example is when I was 8 years old. What started as a normal day turned into something I will never forget. I came home from school, I wasn't going to Montgomery yet, and I went upstairs to get changed out of my uniform. I noticed that the light was on in my parents' bedroom. The room was a mess. Clothes, jewelry, socks, and more was everywhere. I didn't think much of it. All I thought is my mom couldn't find something. But then I came downstairs. I went by the Christmas tree. And that year, my dad had his Santa figure collection by the window. But that same day, they were broken, and so was the window. That's when it clicked. I told my dad, my mom was at work. He looked around and called the police. After a few minutes, the police officer arrived and confirmed my fear. My house was robbed and ransacked. I was so scared. More happened in that time, but I won't go into detail. Later that day, my mom was home and we went to Lowe's to get a new window. On the way out of Lowe's, a man stopped us. Word was out. He lived down the street from us and asked if he could help in any way. And the next few days and weeks, other neighbors came to our house days and days after to see if we were okay. But I was still petrified. I talked with my parents and the police officer. The officer said it's very unlikely that this would ever happen to us or any of you because of where we live. I also talked with my parents and they helped me. I was still scared, but I had hope that we would be safe and we would be okay. I have to admit that to this day it still frightens me. When I wrote this for my chapel, I had a bad flashback type thing and I felt like I was reliving the event. But after talking with my parents and calming myself down, I felt better and I had hope that it would soon pass. There have been other major events in my life, but these are just a few. These events and many more have caused me to have fear, but also to have great hope. Hope that things will get better. Hope that a brighter future lies ahead, and hope to just keep going. These pictures are a meme about COVID, me wearing a mask in school last year, and some images of hope. Remember to have hope and that there's always light ahead of the darkness, even when the light may seem dim. Dream big! Nothing? Okay, yeah. Dream big's a classic statement on everything. I'm not kidding, it's pretty much on everything. Now, what's a dream? Yes, you can close your eyes, fall asleep, start having dreams, and hopefully none of you are doing that right now. But that's not what I'm talking about. I think that a dream is hoping for something you want in your life, whether it be a goal, an achievement, or getting into your favorite high school. I know where I want to go to high school, where I want to go to college, what I want to major in, and what my dreams are going to be, and how my life's going to be. But dreams can't happen without work. Let me explain. One of my biggest dreams and goals is to be a Broadway star. I love Broadway. Anyone who knows me knows that I really have wanted to be a Broadway actress pretty much my whole life. But this dream is never going to come true unless I work hard. I've been singing and dancing since I was little. When I was really little, I would get music on, stand on my parents' bed, and belt out a song. And then at age 4, I started dance lessons. I've been dancing for about 8 years. I've taken ballet, tap, modern, hip-hop, jazz, and contemporary. I've also been taking voice lessons for about 5 years. I've also been in shows, given concerts, made a YouTube channel, sung at nursing homes, church, community theater, and many other things. I've been building up my singing, dancing, and acting so that I can achieve my Broadway dream. But I've struggled. I've not done as many shows as I like to have. I've not done perfectly in dance class, and I've been petrified of having a voice crack within performance, which has never happened. But these thoughts and bumps along the way will not and cannot stop me. If I continue working hard, doing the best I can, I'll succeed in my dream. And you can too. Whether your goal is academic, artistic, music, sport, big or small, if you work hard, you can achieve your goal. One of my favorite Broadway stars talks about this. My favorite Broadway star, Laura Osnes, and if you've never heard of her, I recommend looking her up and listening to her music. She has become a Broadway star, and she always wanted to. I look up to her because she has similar values and beliefs as me. She's always wanted to be on Broadway, and her dream came true. She worked hard and was rewarded. One of my favorite quotes of hers says, "Be yourself and shoot for the stars. Obviously, dreams really do come true." Remember this, and remember to work hard and dream big. And these pictures are me dancing when I was 5, me at my dance recital this summer, 2 pictures of a concert I gave, and the Laura Osnes quote. You need to be kind. It's really that simple. Now, I get you can't be kind all the time. Okay, I'll admit, sometimes I'm not kind. But I think that kind and nice are 2 very different things. In my eyes, kindness is doing something big or small for someone else in order to make them happy. Kindness is something you have to work for. You won't go from a mean person to a kind person overnight. Now, you need to do small acts of kindness. Now, let me give you some examples. In my life, I've tried to do kind things, from simple things to larger. My first example is something small. A few summers ago, my family and I bought rocks that say things like hope, inspire, faith, dream, and more. We put them around the neighborhood for people to find and to brighten their day. And there's a walking trail in my neighborhood where we walk. There's a woman's house by the trail, so we left a rock for her. A few days later, we saw her next, and she said she thought it was us who put the rock there, and how a rock with a single word made her day go from terrible to horrible. Another example is for my birthday a few years ago, especially my 10th birthday party. Instead of asking for gifts, I donated it to a cause called the Baby Bureau. What the Baby Bureau does is it takes clothes, toys, books, and various other baby products and gives them to families who don't have enough money to do that for their kids. I've helped and donated to the Baby Bureau many times, and when I asked for donations instead of presents, I felt good because I knew I was helping people. I also sing at nursing homes regularly for the residents. I recently did a Rodgers and Hammerstein's Greatest Hits concert, and one of the residents said that me singing these songs brought tears to her eyes because she remembered all the happy times with her family that related to these songs. There have been other things, but that's all I'll say for now. Kindness should be doing something out of the good of your heart without expecting anything in return. And these pictures are the pictures of me doing the things I donated to the Baby Bureau, the rocks we put in our neighborhood, me singing at the nursing home, and a kindness picture to remind us all always to be kind. Words are really important to me. What you say to yourself and others is a really important and impactful thing. If you're always saying positive and good things to yourself and others, you're going to feel great and happy. But if you continue to say negative things to you and others, you'll not be so great. I have to admit I have this awful tendency to beat myself up. But these 5 words are what I remember in order to lift myself back up. Tenacity, faith, hope, dream, and kindness. These words are all words that keep me going. Whenever I feel down, upset, or just off, I should try and remember these words and examples to keep me going. And you should too. My favorite musical is Anastasia. Anastasia is about the Russian Revolution and the Princess Anastasia, who might have escaped the murder of her family. A few years after the revolution, Anastasia's grandmother says if anyone can bring Anastasia back, they'll get a reward. 2 con men hatch a scheme to find a woman and make her the Princess Anastasia in order to claim the reward. Anya, a young woman with amnesia, stumbles upon the con men. She wants to find her family and her past, so they convince her she's Anastasia. They journey to Paris, and along the way, she starts remembering she might be Anastasia. Now, my guess is most of you are thinking are, Kiran, you're probably over time. What does this have to do with the 5 words concept? This has a lot to do with the 5 words concept. But this time, Anya has 3 words: home, love, and family. These words keep Anya going on the crazy search for identity. Anya sings a song, Journey to the Past, where she describes these words. And as you might have guessed, I'll be singing that song in just a few minutes. But back to the words. I have my 5 words, Anya has her 3, but what are yours? What are 3, 5, 10, or any number of words that keep you going? Think about it. If you had to choose at least one word that kept you going through challenges, inspired you, and gave you a positive message, what would it be? Keep that in mind, and if you have one and want to share it with me, come find me today and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Remember to keep going even in tough challenges, and remember, what are your 5 words? Thank you, and enjoy the song, Journey to the Past. Heart, don't fail me now. Courage, don't desert me. Don't turn back now that we're here. People always say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions fear or how the world can seem so vast on a journey to the past. Somewhere down this road, I know someone's waiting. Years of dreams just can't be wrong. Arms will open wide, I'll be safe and wanted, finally home where I belong. Well, starting now, I'm learning fast on this journey to the past. Home, love, family. There was once a time I must have had them too. Home, love, family. I will never be complete until I find you. One step at a time, one hope, then another. Who knows where this road may go? Back to who I was, on to find my future. Things my heart still needs to know. Yes, let this be a sign. Let this road be mine. Let it lead me to my past and bring me home at last. Thank you.